A very warm welcome to Yildiz Readings 5D. Before we get into the content, a very warm welcome and an update as to what we do here. We cover your psychic energies by zodiac, your twin flame path, astrology and more. And yes, we are live every Friday, so come along and join us and click the bell, you'll get a notification. And we do have the Members Hub. Now the Members Hub is a protected place where twin flames can go. You also can get the pre-release content ahead of the game and all the extensions, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, due to the fact I'm a psychic medium. Now, separately, we have additional lives, but just click the bell and I'll update you. And if you do want a booking, the website link is below and above on the screen. You can see we have different styles of readings. We also have group sessions. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Sit back, relax, grab a cuppa, and I'll see you on the other side. Hi Taurus, welcome back. We're here to do your update. That is both psychic, intuitive and tarot, and it will cover various energies, but it does also cover your romance. Now, you have a subject relating to connections, and there is this clearing of heart chakra, and it does relate to group energies. It does appear to be that there is healing here, and with the placements of Virgo at the moment, it is higher heart chakra. So very much from a spiritual point of view, you can really be looking at your connections and realizing that, you know, things can work as a group. But initially it may feel a little bit difficult, especially if there are thoughts about how you would do such. I'm also seeing that some of these things that's really made you feel a little bit unprepared. Now, we are moving to the full moon in Aquarius. It is very tribe orientated. Potentially, a lot of us might have got to a point that we were really focusing on our psychology, our emotions. Things were very distorted at a point, and we still can be recovering from that. But there can be a circumstance to do with the group that potentially, when it does come to love, it might be your schedule, it might be family. There appears to be a circumstance that can be shifting. Now, I do feel at the heart of it, there's some sense of give and take that wasn't completely there. Maybe you had too much on your plate. Maybe there was a feeling of you giving more than others, but it's almost like this situation is going to give you clarity. So it doesn't feel that it's negative. It is really something from the past that is coming forward that is going to balance out. But it's a little bit like the theory of something borrowed, something blue, you know, to get something new. I'm seeing that surrendering to the circumstances and making small sacrifices, it is an interim thing. It's not a permanency. But there is a blessing that universe is bringing you, and it's showing you a different way of achieving your target. I do feel some of you are thinking, you know, it's a little bit like tunnel vision. This is what I'm saying. It's tunnel vision, and it's feeling as though you had a lot on your plate. Your intent was to balance things out. It is coming back again, but in order for it to balance, there can be this sacrifice energy. And sometimes we tell ourselves that. I know that when I had a conversation with my mother, especially from a spiritual awakening point of view, old logics were very much we make sacrifices, which is true inside of connections and contracts. But it can't always be a one-sided transaction for that to be conducive, because then one energy in the situation will be getting more than the other. And it's not that it's a tit-for-tat scenario, but there are some extremities that do cause imbalances. I'm seeing that that was something that was looked at, but now it's almost like you're kind of gaining a different perspective. And there could be, again, a little bit of conflict, due to these extended connections. And I feel it's happening on both sides. It could be work, but it also could be on both parties' side. There appears to be one could say responsibilities, social responsibilities, very much the Aquarian age. Really maybe having that as an obligation, but also a connection. But there could be some conflict as to how to do things, how to pull it together and what that's going to look like overall. I do feel somebody in this equation has really, due to that factor of the intensity of where it's come to this point and the sacrifices, being patient, waiting for it to resolve, there is this energy where one or the other is a little bit afraid. It's like, do I jump in the deep end? You know, is this conducive? The intent is to balance. It could have been a third party energy. And it might have been feeling, psychologically speaking, that, as I mentioned to my mother, if you give too much, sometimes you can then go into the wounded consciousness energy, that you feel that you're betraying your own ethics and morals, and it can feel like you're cheating yourself out of a situation. But the fears relating to it, it might be the demeanor the person or you is coming through with that. You're kind of getting crosswise. This is what's coming down to it. There's crosswise, there's hurt energy, and there's feelings of old emotions from the past coming up. And due to that, we respond to these circumstances in a particular fashion, which then kind of gives us a 101, and it's like, okay, am I being strict? Now, at the moment, we currently have Mars in Leo, which is making it pretty strict on us. It's making us really sometimes have tunnel vision, really casting a critical eye on it. We've got placements with Virgo. We're looking at the devil in the detail. Lighten the energy and come from a place of heart, and you're going to get a good outcome. I do feel there's solutions coming, but I feel there can be an intensity building towards the full moon between this connection, but it's clearing it out, so to speak. The strictness may be the circumstances that you're living with. It might be that there is bluntness. It might also be that the way you're looking at it can be like you're really, really casting a critical eye on it. And, you know, this new chapter is pending, but the thing is, you're not celebrating just yet. I get this vibe, and I'm going to pull a chakra card. I get this vibe that there's been crosswise, misunderstandings, hurt feelings from the past. But there is a new chapter here. I feel for some of you this is after a birthday, but it's also coming to a point where you're feeling this way because you may be feeling ungrounded, but you could be basing something on, how do I put it? For some of you, it can be because there is structure that needs to be assessed on yours or their side of the fence. There also could be instability due to arguments. And, you know, feelings of old emotions that are there are making a person, you and them, feel vulnerable. So there's vulnerability, but there is healing. And if we can come from a place of love, you know, whatever comes, it's almost like there's, you know, we're wanting to have stability. We're wanting to have safety and assurity. It's almost like a contract where we're wanting to have disclosure that nothing ever is going to go wrong. And it's really an impossibility. I do feel there is a beautiful energy here, but I feel there could be some sense of cross wires, but also what you're basing it on could be things that you've experienced in the past. And then because both parties are feeling hurt, the cross wires are occurring, and it's causing a little bit of angst. Now, you are coming through, Taurus, like, you know, really thinking what would need to happen for this to happen, okay? For the joining to be there, for the conducive energy to be there. I do feel you really have felt something's got to give. The past has been very emotional for you. You do want, it's almost like you're wanting everyone to get along. Look at that. You're wanting everyone to get along. You want everyone to be happy, but there's circumstances inside your own life where you can feel heartbroken, emotional, burdened, overwhelmed, and therefore your communication style and your thought process is very circular. It's very emotional at the minute. I do feel you're attempting to get grounded, and some of you may feel that when you are grounded and you approach it and you are trying to be centered, earnest and honest, and you do want to have that conducive family, tribe orientated energy, it can come through where there is, what would the word be? Like it's not understood, like it's misinterpreted. It's like the more grounded you are, I feel you'll gain a different perspective. And I do feel this is a passing energy. So as it comes through, there can be this abruptness. I do feel in hindsight, 60-60, it's like you get to this point and you're like, gee, you know, maybe I should have dealt with that differently. I do feel it could be you're basing circumstances on what other people are saying. But there's something that's creating upheaval and it's not over, and there's something you're not letting go of. But I do feel you need to be cautious about who you're listening to, because again, it can be an overindulgence of the intuition, an overindulgence of other people's opinions, where it can be causing angst. And again, it can even be just way too much going on and feeling really, really super overwhelmed. And I feel once some of those things are actually addressed, you can then come to a place where you gain that security, that stability, and then you're going to relate to these circumstances in a very different fashion. Your love interest does want this fresh start, okay? So both of you are in the prospective sense that that is what you're wanting, but emotionally speaking, the interconnection is becoming a bit problematic. But it's a little bit like PTSD, you know, and we have had some pretty heavy transits. So it's perfectly normal that this is coming through, but it's very important for us to have that self-awareness of what is going on so that we can get the best out of the circumstances. Really going into it light. It can become more aggressive near the full moon in Aquarius. It is going to pass, but really not setting everything as gospel at this point, that things can shift, but there is an element of healing happening here. I do feel, you know, your love interest has some regrets. You know, ultimately they are wanting justice with you. They're wanting balance. They're trying to get into it. I feel that they bounce. I feel that in one breath there's hurt feelings. There's this intention. You know, it's a little bit like manifestation. We have this intention and we're really wanting to move forward, but then suddenly it's almost like when we get to that threshold, we get scared because these old demons, maybe insecurities can come up, which then again causes us to really go back to old situations. But both of you are somehow bringing up circumstances from the past, which is causing angst at this point. I do feel there's going to be a big conversation about a group. I do feel that there could potentially be a solution here, but this is going to cause radical, drastic changes. And I feel the way your romantic partner is going to relate to it very much does depend on how both parties are able to self-master to be able to allow the volcano to calm down in order to communicate this. I do feel both of you at the moment, it's almost like both of you are embodying a masculine energy. And with the new moon in Cancer we had, it was very much embodying masculine energy. And to be conducive within a connection, there needs to be a yin to the yang. So there needs to be a masculine and a feminine. And I'm not really, you know, governed by which sex it is. It's very much to do with the psychology of the two pieces of the puzzle interlinking. And at the moment, it does appear to be fight and flight, and understanding where to pour that energy. Placing it in a sense of pouring it into your work life, as well as really looking at this as a painting over an emotional experience. Virgo energy will help us do such, but if we move into the ego, we can go into that pain body experience, and it's going to cause us to view that storyline from a very sad perspective. Okay, that's about the easiest way I can interpret it. Distorted perspective, a perspective, but it's also an easier way to view it will be to step back and look at it from an outsider's point of view and go, okay, is this person acting out? Is this person stressed? Is there something other than me going on in this picture for the cross-watcher that I could relate to this circumstance differently with stepping back, you know, really not personalizing, although it does feel really personal. But it's a way to cope. Because I do feel if your love interest does this, they're actually going to be able to look at it and go, hang on a minute, okay, what am I basing this circumstance on? Is X matching Z? And I'm really not feeling this as negative. I feel this is emotional. I feel this is cross-wiry, but I'm not ultimately feeling that this is a negative thing. I'm going to pull a chakra card for your love interest, and then we'll go into the snippet and we'll see how this is going to play out. If you do want to come and join us, feel free. you can come through to the Members Hub. The first tier level is for the Twin Flame coaching sessions. We do that 3 times a month. And the second is the area where we have all the pre-release content, and the third is the extension. Each time you go up a level, you get it all. You know what I mean? So right now, I feel you spiritually need to. The love interest spiritually is trying to get some guidance, okay? Support, love, signs, and directions. If you can gain some perspective and step back for a moment, spiritually, get grounded, meditate. Information's going to come towards you, but you need to get some sense of guidance based on why this is happening. Make it contextualize it. Stay tuned for the snippet. Taurus. Okay, there's 2 ways this can go, and it is very much connected to how you relate to it. I do feel it's extremely important, A, to get grounded, and B, you could go through a bit of a spiritual process and feel, okay, you just want to change it up, and that, no deal. But what I am seeing, by doing such, you're going to come 360 and you're going to deal with it regardless. Love and light, come and have a look. Thanks for joining Yildiz Readings 5D. I trust that you enjoyed the content and love to hear your feedback. Now, yes, we're live every Friday for the Twin Flame update for the collective energy, as well as if you do click the bell, you can get the community post update because you don't get notified of lives. Now, the Members Hub also has 3 sessions a month now at $11. If you do want to come and join us, especially for all the extension reads, which are at the higher level, you can find the link on the main page here. You can see it above the screen, and it gives you the 3 tier levels. Additionally, I do see you throughout the month for your romance updates, for your twin flame and the moon energy and more. So have a great month, and I'll see you on the other side. And yes, I do private readings. The information is in the info box. Love and light, guys.